Following the events of what happened in the garage, everything was fine. We don't talk about it, it's something in the past to be forgotten. Sometimes I have experiences that relate to it, but that has nothing to do with this story. First, I really don't know where to start with this one. It seems to be all over the place when I try telling it. I'll start with the first experience I had with that. Me and my dad's family are in Idaho at this point and live in a fifth-wheel trailer on a property in the woods. It's been 3 or 4 months since we left the house in Utah, and so far it's been great. We'd go four-wheeling, hiking, and have a campfire almost every night. However, the whole tone of being there changed this one night. Me and my dad were watching a TV show. It was all normal until I looked down to see my dog. He was just laying there, but something was wrong. Not with the dog, but something just felt wrong, and it gave me the chills. Suddenly, my body kind of jerked in a way that threw me off balance. Then my vision faded to black and I saw a flash of something. I can't remember what it was, but it felt like foreshadowing of something. I fell back into the couch feeling like I just got hit by a car. I regained my consciousness and just lied there shaking like crazy. I felt terrible. I was exhausted like I had been sprinting all day. My dad asked if I was alright. As confused as I was, I just nodded because I felt very weak. Then I got this feeling of loss and sadness. It was a very overwhelming, but something was telling me that I needed to contact my cousin back in Utah. I ran out of the trailer into the forest and tried calling her a few times. She would either miss them or it couldn't get service, so I eventually sent her a text message that read, "I know it's terrible timing, but is everyone okay? I have a bad feeling again, like a feeling of loss and death." I got no word back until a week later when she told me that her husband had a seizure at work as he had epilepsy and had a very slim chance of living. This honestly broke my heart. They were both 20 years old at the time. My cousin has always been here for me, and I was a state away and couldn't do anything. So I booked a flight back to Utah, but it was set to be on August 7th, which conveniently was their wedding anniversary. After the news, the day my flight would come was too far away, but the only thing I could do was to wait. Every day I would climb a tree in which I could get service and text her to see how she's been, and I would wait there all day for news on what was going on, regardless of the weather. Other times I would hike to the spot that seemed to be perfect for service, in which I could actually call her. Then came the day where he eventually passed away on July 27th. This is the experience where it all got started. The things I get. My cousin started calling it a disturbance in the force, which was supposed to take a little fear out of it, but it's still hard living with the ability. I seem to get these things whenever something bad is going to happen. I don't know who it's going to happen to or when. I just know that it's coming. One last thing. I'd like to bring awareness to epilepsy. This doesn't have to be in the story, but I think it's something worth noting. A few days ago, July 13th at 10:48 p.m., I know the precise time because I always write these down. I went downstairs to get a pill for a headache, and when I got there, the pain seemed to get worse, so I went back upstairs. Halfway up the second set of stairs, everything seemed to get further away as my head was bouncing everywhere, and my vision turned fuzzy, then faded to black. I fell backwards down the stairs and hit my neck on a stool that was on the landing. I came to when my mother and cousin were standing over me, wondering what had happened. I didn't get a vision like I normally do, but I did have this feeling that I knew something, but couldn't recall. Like I knew something was going to happen, but couldn't do anything about it. Hitting my neck on the stool could have broke my neck if I landed hard enough. I initially didn't think that this particular incident had anything to do with one that happened exactly last year. That is until I seen the email you just wrote me with the screenshot I took of the message. Thank you for having my story, by the way. It's nice to get the word out that these things do happen. And that is the end of this video, ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to give a sincere apology to Tom for updating his story so late. I am terribly sorry for that because this story has been sitting in my inbox for about 4 months now. I just couldn't figure out how to publish this story because it's too short to make it into a video on its own, but at the same time it can't be published with multiple stories because it's a continuation of the previous story. This video needed to be titled clearly as an update, and I just continued to postpone it, unable to make up my mind on how to publish it. But I finally done it, and for those of you who wanted the update, it hopefully isn't too late. Also, Tom, aside from a few changes, I kept your writing mostly intact, so hopefully the small section of the rewrite didn't bother you too much. I thank you for the update and hope that you are doing well. Allow me to pass along just one more quick news. Currently my inbox is full of stories that I couldn't get to yet, and it's becoming a problem because of the huge delay. It takes much less time to do one story at a time, so just to keep up with the submission, I'll have to release some shorter videos in the next few days. I promise to compile them and make a longer video at the end of every week, but just know that there will be several short video uploads for the time being. And I will leave you with that. Thank you for listening. Have a fantastic weekend.